What's up, everybody? It is Matt from Electric All Wheel. I'm going to do something that I have hesitated to do for you guys throughout, and that is I am going to add a 52-volt battery to this 3.0, and I'm going to take it for a ride. I know that some of you have actually done it, and it does work mathematically. What we're after on this is safety, and we don't want any misconception about what it means to move outside of the spec range for an e-bike. All that being said, we are going to install an electric all-wheel dual battery discharge balance kit, the 20 amp kit, on this 3.0. It's the last bike to need it. And then our second battery is going to be a 52 volt, 15 amp hour high-long battery with some straps. So we're just going to strap it to the rear rack. We've already taken out the screws on that. And so we're just going to lay it down like so, and then run the cabling up to this battery and plug it in. I must stress safety, and first and foremost, this will not work with a 36-volt battery. Above all, our primary recommendation is do not mix voltages for batteries when you're adding a second battery on these e-bikes. In the event that you decide to combine voltages and we cannot stop you, it will not work with a 36-volt battery. Let me repeat, it will not work with a 36-volt battery. It is best to only apply batteries of the same voltage. That being said, we're going to add a 52-volt battery at the risk of blowing our controller. So you guys need to keep that in mind. The controller is most at risk. Are we terribly worried about it? If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, e-bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida, get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your e-bike friends. And look out for the range calculations at the end of the video, utilizing the Micah Toll constant. Without further ado, here we go. The time is 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'm just going to open my kit, take out my cables. I need this end to come up through the back into the controller housing. So it is sticking out the backside down here in the bottom bracket where this thing opens up and all the wires come out. It's right in there. Now you notice I didn't take out the controller. I did that purposely so that you guys can see that you don't have to get into that level of detail. If you do this, you might want to remove the connection to the motor cable. It just gets sticky. And on the 3.0, there's enough room where you can just jiggle and jostle until you see this and then get it up through here. Now I'm going to undo my XT60 connection. This is battery 1, this is battery 2, this is the controller. You can't mess up these plugs, so just go ahead and plug it in. This one is out to the controller. This is a battery. This is another battery. We're ready to go. It just barely slips right in there. Put it right over the top. Now I like to push these things down the side so they're using that space next to the controller. So that when I bring my plate, it just goes right back on. All right, the time is 12:44, so 5 minutes. That's in. We haven't tested it, but we're just going to run the test with the 52 volt. So right now I'm going to take this cable and I'm going to get it attached to this cable that's underneath here. All I'm going to do is just bring it up through the middle here. Plug this one in, that one up through the middle, and that's going to get us to our rack. So at this point, we're on the 5215. My cable opening is down here, so I'll run the strapping this way. So the flat end of the triangle we'll run lengthwise, and then we'll put the cable end down towards the seat. Okay, we're in now. You guys are going to want to know that it's just working off the 52 volt. Let's do that. Okay, that's the 52 volt battery. You know this because the bike is in half. So I'm going to go ahead and strap this up. I'm going to take it for a test ride. So the reason I'm placing them here is I put this over the top so the zip tie can't slide down. So this is the point at which it will fold. And then I want it to run this line. So I need one holding it down. So this far, and then I'm going to put one here. I want this because I don't want a wide open cable open to any kind of cross through cut or anything that's going to get it yanked out. That's what I'm trying to avoid. So how does it work? The way this works is when I take this out for a ride, the very first battery that will be depleted is the 52 volt battery. The best part about the balancer is it acts as almost like a backflow preventer. And also it draws from the highest charged battery to the voltage of the next highest charged battery and then steps that down until the low voltage cutoff of the bike. So at 52, you're looking at a 58 plus volt battery, and it is not the amp hours that are gauged of the current. The current is what's actually going out at any given time or being drawn at any given time by the controller, but it is the voltage. And a lot of you know this because the displays, right? People sell the displays on Etsy that show the voltage on the side and the percentage of the battery left. That is how you know your battery capacity. We all know that once you drop below about 48 volts, you can feel the power diminish on your bike, and it's not the same as it is with a full charge. So we're hoping to experience more of that with this 52. The way it'll go, if this is the 52 volt battery, the balancer will pull the 52 or allow the 52 to discharge all the way to the voltage of the fully charged 48, which is 54.6 volts, and then they will uniformly discharge to the low voltage cutoff of the controller or the BMS. In this case, it'll likely be the controller, and they will not discharge at a greater current rate than 18 amps, which is because of the controller. We're not worried about heat, we're worried about the capacity of the controller to deal with the higher rated voltage, and we're pretty sure that this thing is going to cover. The balancers will work up to 72 volts, and their current rating is 20 amps, so we know that that fits with the controller of the Lectric 3.0. I think I'm going to ride to Dunedin and back for you, and I'll put on the GoPro chest cam so you can see it. Probably going to cut this through, but it's more or less you guys want to know how it performs or what it feels like, and I'll try and cut some of that into the video. And next time you see us, I'll be on the trail with this bike for the first time with a fully charged 52 volt battery. All right, we are ready. I have gotten a good voltage reading on this thing. It is showing 58.8 volts, so we know that the 52 volt battery is in action. This is a factory Lectric 3.0 controller. I have like 50% battery on this. I think it's going to work to the ride to Dunedin. We're going to take a 4-mile ride down to Dunedin and back. I'll mostly throttle only. I doubt I will pedal at all. I'm also in jeans and I don't really want to sweat right now. Plus we want to test out what's going to come back. So round trip, 8 miles. We'll see where the voltage lies, 15 amp hours. And then we have the 14 amp hour or the 10 amp hour 48 volt battery in the original Lectric step through bike here. So I will also make sure to incorporate all of that in the calculations later. Here we go. I got my helmet on for safety and my hat with me, so when we get there, may stop at the Dunedin House of Beer. Look at that voltage. Oh my. So right now we're still full throttle riding above the peak voltage when the factory battery is charged, so we like that. The throttle limit is 20. We're not expecting anything above. We do get that extra little push, which is nice, but it's still, the controller is program limited. I really appreciate the suspension seat post when I go over these little bumps on the pedestrian bridge on the ramp. Bring it in here. So full throttle right now is only pulling 8 amps. That's all right. Voltage is at 55, which is above the full charge rate for the factory battery, so we like that. .3. 56 volts, 4.3 miles, full throttle majority of the way, and then some pads to 28. In this moment is I'm going to unplug. So we have our factory battery will be here. What I'm looking for is peak voltage because it's only the factory battery. So it's showing 51.1, which means this battery wasn't charged when we plugged it in. Now what I'm going to do is actually plug in the 52 volt. And then show you what it is. And then wham, we're back to 56.6, 56.7. So it's been the entire time the 52 volt battery, and we'll probably make it back on the 52 volt. We know that our cutoff is 51.1 because that's the voltage right now for the charge rate of the factory battery. still very energetic. Oh my, we like it. Oh man, it still moves. This is nice. All right, so that is definitely a benefit of the 52 volt system, is longevity of power, like the duration of the sustained power through the ride. This thing still gets up. It does not play with the past settings. I'm going to be on your left. Well, I'm really happy. I liked what I got out of the 3.0 with this 52 volt battery, and I'm not recommending that you get a 52 volt battery, but if you understand the limitations of your components, then I would say a 52 volt battery is going to surprise you on your Lectric XP 3.0 ride. The voltage right now is showing 54.1. Along the ride, I pulled this battery, the 52 volt, and it showed 51.1, which means that the factory battery wasn't fully charged, and only when we were doing the voltage drop at full throttle was the factory battery actually being utilized. So right now it's showing 54.2. We know that this battery is at 51.1, so we rode completely on the 52 volt battery. Let's do some range calculations. So 52 times 15 is 780 watt hours. So we'll keep that in mind. 780. So 48 volts times 10.4 equals 500. Plus 780 equals 1,279.2 watt hours divided by 25 equals 51.16 miles for this Lectric XP 3.0. I know that that is a pretty good clip, and honestly, you're not ever going to use that. But having this battery with the full throttle capabilities and managing that current for a sustained duration at that voltage is quite nice. So I do not recommend a 52 volt battery. It is outside the spec limits for the XP 3.0, which is a 48 volt system. Keep that in mind. This was only a test that we will leave the link for the battery that we tested in the description below. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe. YouTube is our primary, and if you're in the area, e-bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida, get in that Facebook group, make an event and go for a ride with your e-bike friends. Check out our other videos for all the Lectric XP accessories, and I will leave links to the accessories that you see on these two bikes: the batteries, the dual battery discharge balancer kit, the tires, the 20x4s, the 20x3s, the brown seats, the grips, the throttle, aftermarket throttle kits for the electric bikes, which is coming from Electric All Wheel, the dual battery discharge balancer kit for the hookup of this 52 volt battery, which we liked but do not condone. We'll talk to you next time.